Good evening, Chiefs Kingdom, and we're pretty happy around here. Travis and Patrick are still nodding their heads yes. They're happy with the pick. Kingsley Suamatea at pick 63, moving up one spot. He was number two on my board for going into the day. I'm absolutely shocked that he was able to drop all the way down to that pick. I actually didn't think it'd be possible. That's part of why I was so pumped about Kieran, because Kieran did just go right before I'm recording this video to the Bears, so good for him. Hopefully he gets a shot to play there. He's a developmental guy still, but I got a really high ceiling now. With Suamatea, it is you're going to get a really physical, strong offensive tackle, which is exactly what we need. He's going to be a bit more developmental, but when I started reviewing tackles month and a half ago, I mean, he was considered one of the 8 best tackles, regardless of left tackle, right tackle, in the draft. He slipped obviously a bit, but nothing I saw that he was going to slip this much. I think his average rating was across the 5 big boards before they made all these updates, right before the draft. Probably as they heard. I mean, I think some of these big boards are made up by people who that's just what they think. They're not experts, and then when they hear from the teams and the scouts and everything like that, who's really up there, they change their ratings dramatically. That's where you get guys like I just saw Tanner McLaughlin is a guy I'm going to talk about for tomorrow. He's a tight end who I was able to take with the 221st pick every single time on PFF, and now it's looking like it might be hard to get him in the 4th round. It's insane sometimes how many adjustments they make. One guy who it wouldn't surprise me to see him drop to the 4th, even though they have bumped him up in a lot of big boards. Just an incredible character, dude. Wide receiver out of Virginia, Malik Washington. He runs great routes. Caught 110 balls leading the NCAA last year. 1,400 yards. He could be a great slot receiver for us and fill a different need, and also give us a little bit more depth long term at wide receiver. Definitely push that room a lot more. I know people are probably like, we don't need another receiver. You're not entirely wrong, but it couldn't hurt to have more competition in there. If KT wants to make the team, he'll have to earn it, just like anyone else. I like getting Malik in there for raising the floor of that room. So he's one of my draft crushes. I've been really close. I've gotten a lot of guys I really like. Suamatea is one of them I liked. He was my number 2 going into today. Worthy was my number 3 receiver that I thought would be best fit for the Chiefs. The draft is going phenomenal for the Chiefs right now. And so kind of I want to record these videos just to put out into the world some of my wants, what I want the Chiefs to do, because it seems to be working out all right now. I would say one of my other draft crushes is Isaac Guerrero. I just don't think he's getting enough press. It's just a guy who's been in a backup role most of his collegiate career, and I think he's still reasonably young, but he's been in a backup role. But every time he gets the ball and gets to play, he produces. He had some of the highest or most explosive plays from a running back last year in NCAA, and that's coming from a backup role. Then he went to the combine, ran a 4.33 40, had some of the highest athletic testing skills. I want to say like a 99, like almost perfect score athletically. And weighs like 215 pounds, is 6 feet tall. It's insane that dude was. It would say I was making a bad pick every time I selected him at 173 for on PFF. My dog hit the background. Hi, Brinky. No, he'll be a great running back. I think what makes him perfect for the Chiefs is we are looking for somebody. Assuming we're not bringing Jet McKinnon back, which I love Jet. So even if he could just be a coach, I'd love to have Jet back. But if we're not, we need a running back that can pass protect, and Guerrero can do that. He is a big-bodied guy. He's willing to get physical, but he's also just speedy as heck. can catch the ball out of the backfield. Um, I know, buddy. So he'd be one I would just love to see. I think he's perfect for the Chiefs. He doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires, which is great at running back. And we could use some more long-term depth. We only have Isaiah Pacheco for what 2 more years. So and then you're getting into his age being a little bit higher in the running back, and he'll probably earn himself a pretty good paycheck by then. And I hope he gets it, whether it's with the Chiefs or somebody else. I love Pacheco. But Isaac Guerendo could be our good thunder and lightning combo that I'm looking for. So that's another prospect I'm really excited about. I talked about McLaughlin from Arizona, tight end. Just watch out for him. Maybe that's somebody we could be looking at tomorrow. And I think we could have a decent run of defensive tackles in the fourth round. So I'm excited for that. I mean, somebody will be there that we're interested in, I think. I did see some guys going a lot earlier than I thought they were going to go, even before guys. You never know how each team has their boards drawn up and specific traits they're looking for at each position. Because I saw some defensive tackles go that I was really excited about, but I was excited about them in the fourth round. They went in the second. So who knows? I think the fourth round will still have some pretty solid defensive tackles there. If that's what we want to look at. Cornerbacks, I don't particularly love the cornerbacks this late, maybe a little bit later, because I see you get some raw guys that I think Merritt could just get a whole lot out of, that maybe they're not that great in college, but they have all the skills. They just need to be taught like the techniques and learn the schemes and be put in positions to be successful. Like I'm going to butcher this name, DeCamerion Richardson. If you look it up, you'll understand why it's hard. It's not hard to pronounce. It's hard once you see it, how it's spelled. But yeah, I think he's a tall kid with blazing speed, and that's the type of cornerback that we usually like. He had a pretty good year, they say, last year. I watched some film. It wasn't particularly outstanding. I mean, he got over an 80 grade on PFF, but I don't trust PFF that much. But he's someone I liked in the late fifth slot. I also like the kid out of Auburn. DJ James, maybe. Just trying to go off the top of my head. I didn't have much time to prep. That's why it's an instant reaction, and I'm probably not gonna have time to put out my list until right before the draft tomorrow. Saturday is usually the early turnaround. Let's see, I had one more player I wanted to mention. I know. It is possible we could potentially take another tackle. I'd like a guard, but there just really isn't a lot of great guards in the fourth and beyond. Nothing that really interested me anyway. Some smaller school guys that I didn't really get a chance to watch tape on, so I can't really say they're good or not. I mean, they were who PFF might say should be selected, but I don't know anything about them. So, can't say, guard would be a good position for us to get if there was actually talent that the Chiefs like there. I just didn't see it. But running backs got some solid depth, and there's just not so much high-end talent in this draft. But I think towards the bottom of the draft, that's where you're going to see a lot of teams actually getting some good value. Gore is another one late in the seventh. I have no clue why teams are so, or not teams, why all the scouts and big boards have Gore so low on their draft boards. The kid just produces. He comes from a family of football production. He's built up just pure muscle, and I mean he had over 300 yards rushing in a bowl game. I don't care what bowl game that is. Over 300 yards rushing is insane either way. So those are just some of the people I like. We'll see what happens. Like I said, Isaac Guerendo, I'd be happy. Tanner McLaughlin, I'd be happy. Tanner McLaughlin was my seventh, my fifths. I mean, those would be two that would make me really happy. We need a running back. We need one that can pass protect, and there's not a lot in this draft that can do that. So Isaac Guerrero would be my biggest draft wish remaining. But I gotta say, no matter what they do from this point on out, as long as we're filling some depth, getting some players that are decent. Veach is on his game, so can't complain. Sua Matea had 31 bench press reps, which is, I think he actually had the highest bench press reps, if not the highest, the second highest in the entire offensive line group at the combine. The guy's an animal. We just gotta mold him, get him ready, and then we're gonna have a great long-term tackle. I can't believe they're letting the Chiefs get these players that we got so far. So we've been blessed. Everybody, have a great night. Go Chiefs.